Hi, this is Ike from IkesOutdoors.com. Today we're going to be doing a little bit more work on my 3D bow. What this is an Athens Accomplice. It's come out of their custom shop. They've custom dipped all the hardware for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how I take this bow from this bare bow to get ready for 3D season that's coming up here pretty quick. So the first thing that I'm going to do these as I get stuff for them, because I've got a relic sight ordered and a ripcord rest and a lot of other different things, you know, everything I need for this bow. So as I get those things in, that's what we'll work on. So hopefully I'll get the rest in next and we can work on that. But for today, what I've got is I've got a set of custom strings that I ordered from Top Pin Custom Strings, and you can check them out at toppinarchery.com. And what these are is they're a set of orange and black strings, and they've got the orange serving on them. So they're going to look pretty sharp on this orange and black bow. Cable. This is a full set of cables and the strings. So what we're going to do today is we're going to set this bow up with a new set of strings. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to check the timing on this bow, and if it's in time, I'm going to mark my cams so that I can, when I put my new strings on there, I'll be able to set them right back. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bow scale here, and I'm going to check my timing on this thing. You want to check your timing at full draw, so you'll need some kind of bow scale or something basically that you can pull this bow back with. And when you check your timing, some of your bows will have timing marks on them. Some of them don't, like timing marks on your cam. This Athens does not. You're basically just going to pull it down, and you're going to be looking at your cams to see visually if they're even. You've got a lot of different holes on here, bolt holes and different things like that. You'll want to kind of eyeball the spacing on those and make sure that they're the same, or at least close. I don't have a string loop or anything on this string, so just kind of putting it in the middle there. Pull it back to full draw. And then this Athens has got 2 draw stops on it. So you just want to kind of step back away from it and eyeball it and see. You can see on this Athens there's 2 bolt holes, and when your cam rotates around, they're just on the outside of the limb. So I can look at those and I can see how far away they are and make sure that they're even. Now I can even go so far as to put this on a drawing board, which I've got a drawing board over here that I've made. And that drawing board, what it'll do is I'll put the bow on there, and it'll draw the bow back and hold the bow back, and I'll take a set of calipers and I can measure the distance from the top of the limb to that hole and get this thing perfectly timed. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to mark these cams, because it seems like they're in pretty good time, and then we're going to put the new strings on there and go from there. Okay, so I just got a red Sharpie here, just a really fine point red Sharpie, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here on my cam on the inside of the limb and the outside of the limb. I'm going to make a little mark. Now, the nice thing about that too is you'll always have that there for a reference. So if your cams get out of time, you'll be able to look at your cams right away and tell that they're out of time and that you need to do a little bit of work with them. So now that they're marked, we're going to change the strings, and we're going to shoot it a little bit, get the strings stretched out, and then we'll time it from there. Okay, so I've got my bow up here. We're getting ready to change the strings in it. What I've got going on here, for a lot of you guys that are looking at this wondering what the heck's going on, I'm going to try out the Bowmaster portable bow press today, and I'm going to see if we can change strings with it. I've got a linear press, a big linear press, but I'm going to try this Bowmaster portable bow press out and see how hard it is to change the strings with it. I threw together this little contraption here. What this is basically is I've got a piece of round tubing, a piece of round stock that I've taken to the mill, milled down and threaded to match the threads where my stabilizer goes. So what I've done, and I've made it, set it up in here where my round stock floats. And what I've done is basically made a bow holder. It just turns in there, we'll tighten it in, and I've got a hands-free bow holder to use this Bowmaster press. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press this thing down. We're going to try changing strings with it and see how well it goes. I've used this Bowmaster for different things before, but I've never actually tried to change strings with it, so we'll see how well it works for this. If this is the first time you're ever changed strings, the most important thing that you can do, I think, is take pictures of your cams. Take pictures of both cams from both sides, and that way you've got something to look back on to see how your strings work in there. So we'll cover that real quick, and then after that we'll talk about timing it. Okay, so I'm ready to change my first string, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these one string at a time. I'm going to take off my string, I'm going to replace it. I'm going to take off one of my cables, I'm going to replace it. Same thing on all of them. The Bowmaster press has pressed it up pretty good. Looks like I'm going to have room to change everything. The only thing I did find is that it was kind of banging around on my bow, and with a nice custom bow like this and this custom dipping, I put a towel behind it. My hunting bow, I probably wouldn't be too worried about it, but this nice custom bow, you know, you want to protect that finish, so I put this towel on there to protect that. So we're going to change the main string out here real quick, and we'll show you how to do that. It's real simple, real easy. Just pay attention to what you're doing and try to keep track. So this is where the importance of the pictures that we've taken earlier comes in handy. You can see here that this string wraps around and attaches to this post. We'll show you the other side in a minute, but it's got two posts on it where your cables are attaching. Will attach. This is a 2-track cam system, a binary cam system, or a 3-track cam system, solo cam. All your different cam setups are going to look a little bit different. So take pictures of these things before you change it out. But when it comes time to change it, it's extremely easy. Once you got your bow pressed, all you need to do to change your string is to remove it from this post, take it back through your limb hole here, and take it off. When you put your new one on, you'll run it around your cam, bring it through this opening in your limb, wrap it around, and hook it right back to your post. This is the opposite side of our 2-track cam system. Now on this one, we've got our 2 cables. Your cable here will come over, go through your opening on your limbs, and attach to your post. Your bottom one will come through, feed through the opening on your cable, and attach to your post here. Be sure that these will all go into the correct tracks. Check your pictures and make sure that they're the same way after you're done as they were in the pictures when you started. Okay, so there we go. We've got our strings all replaced. Made sure everything's in the right spot. So next step we're going to do is we're going to shoot it. Like I said, we're going to shoot it 20-25 times. Get that string stretched, and actually I'm going to shoot it around 100 times. Make sure these strings are good and stretched. One thing you can do, and I didn't do it on this one, is you can put your peep sight in, and you'll notice when you put your peep sight in there that as your string stretch, your peep sight will start rotating away from you, and that'll be a good sign that your string's stretching. When your peep sight stops rotating away from you, then you know your strings have stopped stretching and you're ready to go ahead and time it and everything like that. So, and that's our next step from here. We'll shoot it 100 times, something like that, get these strings good and stretched and make sure they're not going to move anymore. And then we'll come back and we'll time our cams and make sure our axle to axle is closed, make sure our brace height and everything like that's closed. And we'll discuss that in our next video. These top pin strings really made this bow pop, really made it look good, I think. It really seemed like they're really good quality strings. So be sure to check him out. It's at toppinarchery.com. He makes some really nice wrist slings as well. We've got this wrist sling here that we're going to be putting on this bow. And one of the things I like about this wrist sling is the way he does his leather. You can see, instead of just having 3 loops and have it running, he brings it in, comes up from underneath and comes back down, so it's a good secure loop, and then it's not gonna stretch on you as you're shooting. That's one of the things I ran into with other ones, is they're constantly stretching them, constantly having to tighten them up. So be sure to check him out. That's toppinarchery.com. Makes a fantastic set of strings, makes some really nice slings, and you won't be disappointed. Be sure to stay tuned for our next video. We're going to time this thing and get it all finished out as far as that goes. So thank you for watching. Be sure to visit our website, www.ikesoutdoors.com. Thank you.
I like good times, good wine, good smoke, and a 5-piece bed. And I can't help it.